when I was just past 16, and I lost all track of Pop. Mom said he got the name from me. Well, I shook his hand and told him I had something I wanted him to see. And I took him out to the old truck and brushed off some of the dirt so the name would show. And his eyes got big and bright as he read Giddy Up Go. Oh, we had a lot of things to talk about, and buddy, I felt like a king. And now we've just pulled back on old 66, and he handled that rig better than any gear jammer that I'd ever seen. Well, now the lines on the highway have got a much brighter glow as we go roaring down the road, and me staring at little sign that reads, Giddy Up Go.
So that was Red Sovine with Giddy Up Go, and before that you heard Radiohead with My Iron Lung. If that Red Sovine track was a little bit too saccharine for you all, because it is, I mean, it's quite a sweet song, really. I mean, Only the Mother Dies. It's not really a high body count, is it? If that was a little bit too sweet for you, I've got some Rowan Theatre Band now, which will definitely be much darker. This is a song entitled Nobody Buried the Undertaker.
Churchyard for over a lifetime. Each one of these stones is my friend. I remember the day I sent each one away with a kiss and a penny to spend. There's Mr. McPherson who died for no reason, was buried with his favorite bear, and Jonathan Walton, a rector from Bolton, who died wearing ladies' underwear. And everyone turned out for Amy Carruthers. Her coffin was filled with the letters from lovers, and old Nick the pig with his favorite stick that he used to beat dogs in the street. And there's dear legless Jake who drowned in the lake and was buried with 2 spare sets of feet. But nobody buried the Undertaker. His body was left in the sun, for no one round here would call him a friend. Everyone knew what he'd done. Oh, everyone knew what he'd done. Lazy Day Jason, who died at the racing, was buried with a toothpick and his faithful pocket knife. And old drunken Charlie was buried with a bottle, and old faithful Jake was buried with his wife. And every day Jimmy had said he would kill her, and in the end we all know just who did. She was buried alone with her face to the ground, and a photograph of her 3 kids. And Rosie had never made love to a man till her stepfather had his evil way. never remember a thing. She died earlier on that day. And Elephant Gerald, the fat guy from rugby, we put him in upright and hammered him down. And we borrowed a tombstone from someone who knew him and painted it up like a merry-go-round. But nobody buried the Undertaker. His body was left in the sun. For no one round here would call him a friend. Everyone knew what he'd done. Oh, everyone knew what he'd done.
So that was the Rohan Theatre Band with Nobody Buried the Undertaker. Isn't that amazing, that song? I'm definitely going to play some more Rohan Theatre Band on the show. I think I've played 3 tracks, counting that one, over the 8 shows that I've done, which is showing him a lot of love. But so many people haven't heard of him, and he writes the best murder ballads. He's fantastic. If you want to get hold of some of his music, just type in the Rohan Theatre Band into Google, and it'll pop up with links straight away to Rowan's official website. So he's not making music anymore, which I'm really sad about, but yeah, so good. In a regular part of the show, I recommend a bunch of different horror movies and horror stuff in general that's worth checking out. So I'm going to do that now. A couple of horror movies that I'm going to recommend. There's a film called The Moth Diaries, which has got Lily Cole in it, and Lily Cole is a hot redhead, and she's amazing in it, so that's enough, really. I don't really need to tell you anything more. It's about vampires, but it's good. It's not like I'm trying to think of an example of a good vampire film now. Bram Stoker. It's not as good as like Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman. It's not that level of vampirism, but it's definitely miles ahead of Twilight. It's somewhere between that spectrum. So yeah, if you're a fan of vampires and you've not seen The Moth Diaries, I can definitely recommend it. I'm also going to recommend an old sci-fi classic. It's definitely got some big horror elements in it, as well as being hugely comical. It's a film called They Live, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard of before, but maybe haven't got around to watching yet, or maybe you just haven't heard of it at all. It's a great film. It stars Rowdy Roddy Piper, the wrestler. But don't let that put you off, because I know there's a lot of films with wrestlers in that are awful. But he's amazing in it, and it's a really cool film. I don't really want to say too much about it in case there are people listening who haven't seen it, but I can definitely recommend it. I'm also going to recommend, on the gaming side, there's 2 really good horror games that have come out fairly recently, one of which is called Outlast, which is about being stuck in a mental asylum with a video camera and no discernible weapons, and you use the night vision on the video camera. So if you've ever enjoyed bits in films where they have to use the night vision to find the monsters, it's basically that for a whole game. And I haven't actually played it myself, because I'm not a PC gamer, as much as I'd like to be, but it looks fantastic. I watched quite a lot of gameplay recently on the Rev3 Games channel, and yeah, it looks terrifying. The other one I'm going to recommend is Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs, which is a similar kind of thing. It's basically a run from the monsters game. Amnesia: The Dark Descent came out a couple of years ago. There's so many videos on YouTube of people playing that, like reaction videos of people playing it, freaking out. If you've not seen them before, I can definitely recommend it. They're really, really good fun. The last thing I'm going to do in my recommend section is, last week, you may remember I mentioned that Stephen King had a sequel to The Shining coming out in book form, and I have it in my hands right here. And I haven't started reading it yet. I'm saving it till after the show, or maybe after I sleep, whatever comes first. Hopefully I won't fall asleep on air. But I just thought as a little treat I would read you the synopsis. So this is Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel, the actual sequel to The Shining, which is insane. So the synopsis says, On highways across America, a tribe of people called the True Knot travel in search of sustenance. They look harmless, mostly old, lots of polyester, and devoted to their comfortable RVs. But they live off the steam that children with The Shining produce when they are slowly tortured to death. Following a childhood haunted by the time he spent with his parents at the Overlook Hotel, Dan Torrance has been drifting for decades, desperate to shed his father's legacy of despair, alcoholism, and violence. Finally, he settles into a job at a nursing home in rural New Hampshire, where his remnant shining power provides a crucial final comfort to the dying. Aided by a prescient cat, Dan becomes Dr. Sleep. Then Dan meets the effervescent Abra Stone, and it is her spectacular gift, the brightest shining ever seen, that reignites Dan's own demons and summons him to a battle for Abra's soul and survival. I really can't wait. It's going to be great. Yeah, if you're a Stephen King fan, then it's an essential, and you probably already know about it. But yeah, go and pick it up. It's going to be well worth it. Don't wait for the paperback. Get the hardback. That's what I did. I shelled out for it. Right. I'm going to play you some more music now. You've probably heard enough from me for a little bit. Later on, I'm also going to be playing an interview with Ted Bundy in a new or fairly recent regular thing that I've been doing on the show, which is interviews with serial killers. And the interview I've got is really good. And not everyone's heard it before. It's quite a rare interview, so it's kind of exciting. So I'm going to play you some Voltaire now. This is Dead Girls.
So strange, it's so peculiar, it's all so deranged. See for yourself now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, step right up and view the freak. We caught him red-handed down by the morgue where he sleeps. And if you think that that's disgusting, wait till you hear this. I never could do it justice. So here are some words. With these eyes you'd never comprehend. See for yourself now, take those living women. They have never shown me any kindness of any kind. No, it's not my fault. I look this way, I try to talk to them. They look at me, they walk away. So really, is it so strange that